It was a quiet evening when Emma decided to take a walk through the woods near her house. The sun had long set, and the moon hung low in the sky, casting eerie shadows on the twisted trees. She had always been drawn to the solitude of the forest, but tonight felt different, like the air itself was thick with something unsettling. As she walked deeper into the woods, a chill ran down her spine. The wind seemed to whisper strange words, but Emma couldn't make out what they were saying. The rustling of leaves sounded like footsteps, and occasionally a flicker of movement caught her eye. Something just out of sight. It felt as though the forest was watching her. The further Emma went, the darker it became, despite the moonlight. Soon she reached a clearing where an old abandoned cabin stood. It was a place she'd never noticed before. Its weathered wood groaned as if the house was alive, begging her to leave. But something inside Emma urged her to enter. She pushed the door open with a creak and stepped inside. The air was thick with dust, and the faint smell of decay lingered. As her eyes adjusted, she saw strange symbols drawn on the walls glowing faintly in the dim light. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the room, and the door slammed shut behind her. Emma spun around in fear. The room seemed to close in on her. Then out of the corner of her eye, she saw it, a shadowy figure standing in the far corner of the room. It was tall and thin, with long skeletal hands that stretched toward her. Emma's heart raced as she tried to scream, but no sound escaped her lips. The figure slowly began to move, its eyes glowing an unnatural shade of red. The whispers grew louder, now clear and unmistakable. Leave or stay forever? Emma backed toward the door, but it wouldn't open. The figure stepped closer, its presence overwhelming. She could feel its cold breath on her neck. Panic surged through her as the whispers turned into laughter, an otherworldly sound that seemed to come from all directions. And then, just as quickly as it had begun, everything fell silent. The figure was gone. The door opened on its own, and Emma stumbled out into the night, her body trembling. But when she looked back, the cabin was gone. In its place was just an empty clearing, as if nothing had ever been there. Emma never spoke of that night, but she could never forget the cold touch of the figure and the chilling laughter that echoed in her mind for weeks to come.